Let's talk about one more important aspect of guitar playing, and it's called vibrato. So, what is vibrato? Do most instruments do vibrato? A lot of them do. If you think of flute or violin or even trumpet sometimes or something like that, you'll hear vibrato, which is making the pitch vary up and down a little bit. Of course, singers do this all the time. We also do it on guitar. And there's a couple of distinct ways of doing it. One of which I'm good at and one of which I kind of stink at, to be honest. But I'm going to teach you and maybe you'll get to be better than me. There's what I'm going to call a horizontal vibrato. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick a finger, whichever one you want, maybe middle finger, second finger on a fret, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to come up, why don't I come up a little higher to like maybe the 10th fret on the third string, which is the note F. And then I'm going to just play with my middle finger and I'm going to move my finger side to side in what I call a horizontal vibrato, moving this way. This is a type of vibrato that is associated with classical music a lot. I'm also a cellist, so it's the type of vibrato that I gravitate to the most. It comes easily to me. And it's a fairly subtle vibrato, but you can tell it does make a big difference. If I play the note without the vibrato, and then with, you can see that it warms up the pitch quite a bit. And by doing this, I'm just slightly tugging and pushing the string across the fret a little bit and altering that pitch just a little bit to give it that expressive vocal quality. So this is a type of vibrato that if you like doing it, awesome. I do know some rock guitar players who use this kind of vibrato. A lot of classical players and jazz players use it. I hear that quite a bit in those two disciplines. But if you're playing like a blues guitar or more rock guitar, typically the type of vibrato they use will maybe incorporate a little bit of that horizontal technique, but they'll do a little more what we'll call vertical vibrato, up and down. And this is actually using bending as a form of vibrato. And this is the one I kind of stink at, to be honest. I'm still working on it. I do it a little better on the electric, but there's a couple of ways people do it. They will literally move it up and down like that. Sometimes they'll get their finger like this to where they almost look like they're doing the horizontal vibrato, but they alter their angle to where it's more going up and down. Usually when I do it, I do more of just a straight up slower bend. Since I'm not that great at it, you can see I tend to just gravitate more towards that horizontal style, but I've just decided that's a little bit part of my style, is that more horizontal vibrato. But if you hear that big, giant, bluesy vibrato, I'm thinking of like B.B. King, Prince, great guitar players, like them. They're using more of that vertical style to get that really dramatic, wide vibrato that you may associate primarily with blues guitar, which of course informs so much of rock guitar. So I want you to be aware of those two types of vibrato, and perhaps with time you can practice them both, see which, or hopefully both, you'll like both, and you can try either one. And it's a little more challenging, I think, to do the vertical vibrato on the acoustic. If you want to try it on your electric guitar or a friend's electric guitar, that's great. On the classical guitar, if you play one of those, the up and down is really difficult to work. Bends are not as great on the classical guitar. But that sideways horizontal vibrato is beautiful in the classical guitar. So there's some vibrato that you can add into your mix when you're practicing different ways of playing. So good luck.